All right, next fighter to the scale, the man around whom this UFC 311 fight card was built, the undisputed UFC lightweight champion and the pound-for-pound king, Islam Makhachev.
154 and a half.
154 and a half, the official weight for Islam Makhachev. All right, next fighter to the scale, competing live on the pay-per-view main card, the number 10 ranked lightweight in the world, Renato Moicano.
155.
155, the official weight for Renato Moicano.
Let's go.
With one of the gentlemen around whom this fight card was built, the undisputed UFC bantamweight champion, Merab the Machine Dvalishvili.
134. 134.
134, the official weight for the champion, Merab Dvalishvili. All right, next fighter to the scale, undefeated as he arrives at his first UFC title shot, the number 2 ranked bantamweight contender, Umar Nurmagomedov.
135.
135, the official weight for Umar Nurmagomedov. And with that, your UFC bantamweight championship title fight is official. All right, next fighter to the scale, charged with kicking off the pay-per-view main card, making his 24th UFC appearance in the middleweight division, Kevin Trailblazer Holland.
183 and a half.
183 and a half, the official weight for Kevin Holland. All right, next fighter to weigh in this morning, the number 9 ranked women's bantamweight contender, Karol Rosa.
135 and a half.
135 and a half, the official weight for Karol Rosa. All right, next fighter to the scale, same division, one half of the featured prelim, Raoni Barcelos.
135 and a half.
135 and a half, the official weight for Raoni Barcelos. All right, next athlete to the scale, also in the bantamweight division, Ricky Turcios.
136.
136 for Ricky Turcios. All right, next fighter to the scale is the former undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion of the world and the number 2 ranked contender, Yuri Prochazka.
204 and a half. 204 and a half.
204 and a half, the official weight for Yuri Prochazka. All right, next fighter to the scale is his opponent, also the former undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion, the number 3 ranked contender, Jamal Sweet Dreams Hill.
205 and a half.
205 and a half, the official weight for Jamal Hill. All right, next fighter to weigh in this morning is the number 13 ranked light heavyweight contender, Bogdan Guskov.
205 and a half.
205 and a half, the official weight for Bogdan Guskov. All right, next fighter to the scale, the number 7 ranked heavyweight in the world, the polar bear, Sergey Spivak.
233.
233, the official weight for Sergey Spivak. All right, next fighter to weigh in, competing in a prelim in the bantamweight division, Bernardo Sopai.
135.
135, the official weight for Bernardo Sopai. All right, next fighter to weigh in, the number 11 ranked flyweight in the world, Tagir Ulanbekov.
125 and a half.
125 and a half for Tagir Ulanbekov. All right, next woman up, the number 13 ranked bantamweight in the world, Eileen Perez.
135.
135 for Eileen Perez. All right, next fighter to the scale, competing in a lightweight prelim, Grant Dawson.
156.
156, the official weight for Grant Dawson. All right, next fighter to hit the scale, please welcome Zachary Reese.
185 and a half.
185 and a half, the official weight for Zachary Reese. All right, staying in the middleweight division, this man competed live on pay-per-view here Saturday night, Rainier de Ritter.
A little more. Y'all agree, 184 and a half? 184 and a half.
184 and a half, the official weight for RDR Rainier de Ritter. All right, next fighter featured prelim in the bantamweight division, Peyton Talbot.
A little lower. Yeah, 135 and a half.
135 and a half, the official weight for Peyton Talbot. All right, next fighter to weigh in this morning, competing in the men's flyweight division, Clayton Carpenter.
Yeah, let's go there. 125 and a half.
Official weight for Clayton Carpenter. All right, next fighter to the scale, competing live on pay-per-view, the number 9 ranked lightweight contender, Beneil Dariush.
155. Yeah, let's go.
155 for Beneil Dariush. All right, next fighter to the scale, competing in the bantamweight division, Rinya Nakamura.
135 and a half.
135 and a half for Rinya Nakamura. All right, next fighter weighing in for his UFC debut here on Saturday night in the light heavyweight division, Billy Elikana.
200 pounds.
200, the official weight for Billy Elikana. Out there, next fighter to hit the scale in the middleweight division, set for his UFC debut, Azamat Bakoyev. 185 and a half, the official weight for Azamat Bakoyev. All right, next fighter to the scale, the number 6 ranked heavyweight contender, Mayagino Jailton Almeida. 235, the official weight for Jailton Almeida. All right, next fighter to the scale, competing in a lightweight prelim, Diego Fajeda. 156, the official weight for Diego Fajeda. All right, our final fighter to weigh in this morning, competing in a prelim in the bantamweight division, Muin Gafarov.
Yeah, let's go.
136, the official weight for Muin Gafarov.